Hello rail fans, and welcome to another video here on the Rusty Boxcar channel. Today is Saturday, July 15th, 2023. These three trains that we're going to see here were all filmed this morning. Maybe one of the worst rainstorms that I've attempted to rail fan in. Had I known it was going to be this bad, I wouldn't even have gone out. So some of the footage you're going to see is not great. I tried to do various different things, keeping the camera inside the car with the window rolled down just a bit, and then a bit later on the second train I had to start with the window rolled all the way up because it just was raining too hard. So again, some of the footage is not perfect. Was trying to keep water off the front lens of the camera. This first train we're seeing here is I-140, and of course my GoPro did its lovely little deal where you first turn it on, it tells you you've got 60-ish% battery, and then 40 seconds into the train it suddenly decides that that's the end of that battery. So we cut in and out a couple times, but I-140 is a intermodal / auto rack train going from Fairburn, Georgia up to North Baltimore, Ohio. Got three locomotives, two up on the front end, 3430 and ET44AH, and 249, a YN2 CW44AC. And then we're going to have a mid DPU, 3274 and ET44AH. All three that we saw today were excessively long. Didn't get the distance from the defect detector or the length on the second one because the dispatcher cut in and out over us. But this one here is 550 axles, 12,651 feet long. We'll be back in a moment with a description of the second train. At the end of this one, we will have that defect detector audio for you.
CSX detector, milepost 179.0, track main 2, no defects, repeat, no defects, total axles 550, length 12651, detector out.
Alright, and here we are back for this second train. I'll go ahead and talk over the passing of the locomotives. Normally I try to let you guys hear the sound, but since there isn't much sound with the window up, I'll go ahead and talk over it. This one had quite a bit of power, had four locomotives up front. We're going to have one mid DPU, pretty interesting one. So this is M512. It's a daily manifest going north out of Radnor Yard up to Avon, Indiana. On this one, the four up front, we got 3293 at ET44AH, 5228 and ES40DC, 3207 and ES44AH, and 7000, which is ex-CSX locomotive 46, that is now a CM44AC rebuild. With this one, the rain's going to vary. As it starts to slow down, we'll open the window a bit, and then we will open it all the way so that you don't have kind of a border of window and rain visor in the lens. So again, no, this probably isn't the greatest footage. Kind of a cool effect to have the rain on the glass there in between us and the train, but best I could do on this morning. Watch out for the DPU coming up mid-train. It is going to be CSX 4588, one of the SD70 AC rebuilds. This locomotive started life as Conrail 4143 with the Conrail quality white nose paint scheme. So here you can see it's slowed up enough where we could open the window a bit, give you kind of that border effect around the train. Again, would have liked to have been able to do a bit better, but was as good as we could do on this one. Again, this one's a very long one. It seems like it took forever because it was going so slow. Had to come to a halt north of us after it passes to let M503 come in off of the Henderson and get out of its way. The 503 head-in was waiting at Eakin and had to cross over onto track 2 after 512 made its way past. 512 was a bit of a shorter train, so was able to sneak up to the Amkey signal and then clear the way. So again, we'll be back in a minute to talk a little bit more about the M503 that we'll see last. Alright, and here we are with the last train of the morning. This was the M503. We catch it going south. It's making its way from Chicago's Clearing Yard down to Radnor Yard here in Nashville. 3 locomotives up front, the front 2 both in YN2, which is always nice. 528, which is a CW44AH, and 153, which is a CW44AC. They were trailed by 5279 and ES40DC, and mid-train we'll see a DPU 3268 and ET44AH. Much like that first train, this one's an extremely long one. It's going to register with 792 axles, 11,617 feet. We will get the defect detector audio in at the end. The rain had slowed up just enough at this point where we were able to capture most of this with the window open. So again, pretty hairy morning out there, but we were able to catch all 3 of these trains within about a 45-minute stretch. So knowing that there was that much coming through the area, figured we'd hang out and go ahead and get them. 203, you may hear some audio back and forth with them as this goes along. They were coming in off the mainline subdivision from Louisville and had 2 liters. I believe it was the head-end power, but it may have been the trailing front locomotive, died completely. They were waiting at the Amqui Junction for these other trains to get out of the way, and evidently it had a work order written up on the train before they picked it up the night prior, talking about power issues on that locomotive, and as they sat there, the locomotive completely died on them. So they weren't able to move forward with just a single locomotive of power. Wound up getting a maintenance crew out there, getting them jumped, and probably about 2 hours after I was up there, I saw on Facebook that they had finally got moving. So we did drive up there. We could see the locomotive, but we just couldn't get good footage of it. It didn't look like much was going to be happening for the near term. The other heads up, for anybody that sees this during the day today, there is a Loram rail grinder parked up in Madison, just south of Amqui on an old spur that's up there, in between Amqui and Williams Avenue. I talked to the crew on the rail grinder. They're going to pick them up tonight at about 4:45 from their hotel, and then bring them up to the rail grinder, do the brake test and what they need to do. And they estimate they'll be departing there between 6 and 7 p.m. And we'll be heading out south and then go towards Chattanooga. So if anybody is in the Madison area tonight between 6 and 7, might want to head to either the cemetery or Amqui or points around there. Should be able to get you pretty good footage of the rail grinder. If the weather improves, I'll probably try to head back out there, and we'll have that video up in the near future for you. Hope you all have a good weekend, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click on the thumbs up below to give us a like. Also, please click on the Rusty Boxcar logo on the right side of the screen to get a subscription to the channel. And send us a comment. Really enjoy reading all your comments, and I try to respond to each one of them. Thanks, and have a nice day.